It's the richest city on the formation, daring to build this that will push even Abu Dhabi. It's the largest of 7 sheikdoms. No capital, also called Abu Dhabi, is the richest city and an audacious spending strategy. Abu Dhabi. As the money flowed in, he converted the shell high-rises. Dollars. On the world map, Al Rahab, it's an proposal a mile wide. Biggest project ever attempted in Abu Dhabi's history. Signature skyscraper. Zaraib takes on task of the builders in nothing new in a land where the iconic is the everyday. Neighboring Emirate Dubai, world, and the emblematic.
Simple, very simple buildings.
Zaraib is flying on a plane when he gets an inspiration.
And then the idea came simply. So I took it.
Design is simple, but daring. Taller than the step. With a
with you, the
molecular curved walls of glass, mirror and
optical, very pure. It's like a seashell.
The seashell hedge, but a circular design. So the circle must be balanced.
The facade of the circular facade was to find the 2 points where the building texture, proportion. Human being.
Circle, and has helped architects to proportion build a circular. But it's not the skyscraper that poses the first.
It was the sea, nothing but the waters.
One solution. Unfortunately, the last sheikh has already 70s. Sheikh Zayed just across the water. So they'd reinforced steel. Here, excavators toil 24 hours a day to flat. Aldar wants their skyscraper completed in 30 months. The eyes of the world will be on Abu Dhabi when it hosts parks. International press. Normally, blueprint.
Given the program challenges with this project,
build this radical skyscraper.
Problems for long. We don't have the luxury of time to sit around and
to the sea will put the foundations under.
The HQ is very similar to digging here in the sand. As you dig
of interlocking panels, which socket into the bedrock and bring the ground inside the barrier can be removed. The team can only hope the design and friction with the ground to secure the structure to the rock and sand below. The remaining on site, it's the same Dhabi construction site. Until Al Rahab the piles. The unique shapes
so quickly that we didn't have time to do the wind tunnel.
By noon.
Of what the wind loads might be. Give us some guidance.
The wind loads are higher than predicted.
In the Middle East and in this region, we find that the highest, what we call gust, the absolute highest gust wind speeds, now for down low. For Aldar HQ, they were
90 feet above ground. Structure. The foundations must be strong enough.
In line with what our expectations were.
Months in the spotlight, on the map, in his leader's vision.
Abu Dhabi was a sleeping bear. I think we've woken up in the past 2 years.
Strong backbone or core, reinforced with 7,200 tons of steel. For the loads into the pile safely, the concrete must be cast without any flaws. They need a way to bend mold, which forms the shape of the structure. Climbs up the core as it is cast, forming a single Q's cores are strong. In only HQ team. Schedule, it's not fast in speed up construction.
We set a challenge to both core.
Neck in the race to the top. Height.
It's been my
also feels the strain.
I'm working 20. Try to finish more earlier than the other core.
Every
a lot of
A contest to build the cores in record time has paid off. Aldar HQ to Lionel. Attempted before years. Abu Dhabi's radical skyscraper to build Aldar HQs. The windows in the United Arab Emirates, but the geometry of Aldar HQ.
And then we go.
Specialized steel exoskeleton.
Steel is very strong as a single element, but meshing them all together allows us to make these rather unusual shapes.
They connect together to form the structure's signature curves. On site will be a major challenge. Lifting these monsters takes precision.
When we rigged the first airframe up, I hope this is going to work. Everyone is on tenterhooks.
Frame lifts off the ground.
There was a big ah from the crowd when it went in.
'99 Skyscraper is just 19 to the 8 of restrooms in total. The construction is a finely tuned sequence. Aldar needs to approve, but there's a problem. The only option, wrap the building's skeleton with a glass of Aldar HQ is high size of 52 basketball courts.
Developed with a series of flat pieces.
It'll take 25,000 individual panes. But that's not all.
And that's very, very strong suction force is what that.
You talk about 25,000 pieces of glass to do that for the...
You'll get a choice whether to lift it or to put it straight back down. And you don't want a large panel.
This panel makes it into position. But the team is on site to see the progress for himself.
Also a physical representation. It's like you're seeing
steel.
Yeah, so if they did, you got this.
The new design is finally approved, and after
the pod drops are quite quick. We hook them up, we take them up the 140
lowered into the core shaft. Delay has serious consequences. Finishing the exoskeleton 8 months from the deadline. Engineering, a 6-inch set. The roof won't slot together. Remaining glass panels will be out of alignment. There is the entire 200-ton roof into position. Carrying wall, carrying 90. The entire roof is raised in right position. It's a tight fit.
Levering and pulling and banging, but eventually it went in, and you finally formed the final arch. It's quite a good feeling when you get something.
Weeks to spare, except one. No one wants.
Hopefully the guys here feel the same way, and I'm just.
An engineering triumph. This is Aldar HQ. All three in the blue skies and rolling
in the world being constructed, so to be part of that was fantastic.
Matt, if you ask me today, we're not yet into the world of Singapore or New York.